Hello, this is Peg with Craft Room Stories. Welcome to my channel. I have completed my Holly Hobby Journal. This is to join the hashtag Prairie Girls Gather, hosted by Angela, the Traveling Crafter, Carol from Crinkled Path, and Johnna, the Preppy Crafty Girl. And sorry, I just noticed a little fuzzball on there. You know how you are. You just start nitpicking that stuff. Probably glue threads everywhere. But anyway, she's completed. Now, I've had to work. Some of you know that my husband just had surgery last week on his cervical spine. That would be the neck. And I'll give you an update real quick before we look at this. And he is doing really well. There's going to be 6 weeks of kind of intense healing taking place, where there's going to be ups and downs and ups and downs. So I can't say that I'm going to have any kind of a normal filming at all, or even crafting sessions. I just grab them where I can and film if I can. So, you know, I'll do what I can. but anyway, I just try to do, and he is doing very well. He's still in quite a bit of pain, but it seems to be, right now at least, less pain than he had before the surgery, and we'll take that. And he's getting some more movement in different parts of his body. So far, his legs have not responded like we'd hoped, but this is just 1 week out. So, and complete healing for this particular surgery with physical therapy is 6 months to a year. So it's not like we can go, woohoo, he's well after 2 weeks. It's not going to happen. And the spine, you know, has been compressed for quite some time by one of his discs. And we thought there were 2 bad discs, but anyway, I don't need to get into details about that. But surprisingly, I just have to say this because I was so shocked. His surgery only took 30 minutes. I was like, what? Yeah. And they were done, and they were like, yeah. They said, yeah, it doesn't take very long. But of all the things that they had to do, shocking. Anyway, so that you don't want to hear all that, but I did want to update you. Many of you have prayed and asked how he's doing and how I'm doing and everything. And it's just, God is so good. He has been so faithful through all of this, and all of you who have, you know, cared at all. I really, really appreciate you. So, without further ado, let me just show you this chunky monkey. She is about 6 inches, you know, wide. And, okay, that's not even long enough to measure. Let's see. She is 9 inches tall, so 6 by 9. And she doesn't have a huge gator, but it's a bit of one. Gator mouth there. We've got 4.5 inches with her closed. Of course, she pops open. And this is a 3.5 inch, 3.25 inch spine, something like that. I thought it was doing a 3-inch spine, but, you know, once you add the fabric and everything. So, okay, here we go. Well, I have showed the cover, I think, before. So this is a piece of quilting that I started to do when I realized I don't have the talent for quilting. It's too exacting, and I'm not good at that. So I thought, why not use the bit that I have done in this? It just fits with the whole kind of homespun theme of this. All right, now I have, okay, I'm going to have to get a different closure. This part I like. This looks kind of just almost Old West, like pioneer days kind of thing to me. And then I have used this hairband, and it's stretchy enough, but I feel that it is going to be vulnerable to break. So I'm going to probably, and it's just hooked through here, through this little grommet thing. So I'm going to probably get a heftier one to go in here. But that is what I had, and so that's what I started with. This is done on with a screw. So you can tighten it if it gets too loose. It does move, and that's okay. All right, so here's the inside. We've got a little sunbonnet here, and Sunbonnet Spices. This is a replica, okay, of well, it's like a picture of an actual cream of tartar spice thing that I got out of a book that I had thrifted called General Store Collectibles. And this has got just all kinds of little ads and stuff like that from old-timey stores and stuff. So I've got that. So we've put this little bonnet in here as a pocket, and I made this little thing. Just no pattern. I just kind of had a wild hair, and that's how I did it. So then we've got another little bonnet on the facing page. I just want to make sure I'm in frame here because I do not like to be out of frame. Okay, we're kind of more central here, I think. All right, I just want to make sure. Okay, so we have all these fun pages, and I have backed them a lot. I've got some washi tape here that I got from my exchange student in Germany, Isabel. She sent me some fun washi, and it just happens to match really well. So inside we have this little pocket. I have also glued it on as a pocket, and we've got some just little coffee dyed graph paper looking tag thing. I don't know, just can be written on. There is some writing, journaling spots in here. We've got a little dangle here on this ribbon. I won't put these back together once I take them apart, and I'll do that after I get off the video. So we've got a couple of the little holly hobbies here, little prairie girls, and we've got a little journaling spot in there, some coffee dyed paper, another little holly hobby there, and one down here with a little cat, and she's made cookies. And this is just a little fabric pocket, and we have put in, these are replicas of the Missouri River packet. Well, I think they're actually pictures of one. I was trying to see if it says what date. I can't, it just says when it's going to leave, but it doesn't give the actual year. So anyway, I've just made that into a journal card, and I have a few of these in here. So, okay. And then we have some, what is this paper called? Literally cannot think. It is, well, you know what paper this is. It's just gone from me. Here is a little sack from Silver Dollar City, and they use these sacks in their shops, and they have just like old-timey looking you know, ads and stuff on them, and I think they're cute. I did make this little rickrack bow with you guys, and I wasn't going to use it, but I thought it did go really well with this little trim I put on here, so I did leave it. And we've got a big pocket in here where I've put another little ad from that book I showed you. And this is a picture of an actual country store circa 1890 to 1910. I think that's just really cool. Whoop. And there's room that you could put more stuff in there, certainly. And then here's the other, this is actual vintage lace. There's all kinds of vintage things in here, but then there's some that are not. This is some vintage eyelet with some not vintage rickrack. I don't think it is anyway. And just love all these little pages, which I've showed you previously. This is a little quilted pocket. I did not make this quilt. Got it at a thrift store, little piece. And we've got one of my little tags in here that is a birdhouse tag with a secret writing spot, hidden writing spot. I'm putting it this way because the birdhouse, or the little bird nest, will get smashed. Okay, there we go. And I've just got on some of these journaling pages, just maybe a little flip something that, you know, I found these little calico hearts, actually at Temu, and I just thought they were cute and went with this. So we've got all kinds of things. This is a sheet. I showed you guys this previously from Harper's Magazine from the 1800s. And my friend Tammy from Jimmy and Tammy had scanned some of these for me, and I used them. And then when I ironed them after coffee dyeing them, some bled from another page, and so some of them are like that, but I think that's kind of cool and just really lends to this whole vintage thing. Okay, we've got a little doily pocket there with some fun little things on there, and this is a receipt from, it's not from the 1800s, but it is from 1961, and I just thought that was kind of cool. Actually came in some little sewing notions and stuff that I had gotten. And this is what the page looks like, but I laminated this page and put it over this as a pocket. I single side laminated it, and so when you look in here you can see it's the same picture, but turned it into a pocket where I have put this card that I got from Carol from Crinkled Path, and that just goes right in there. We've got some more of that washi tape on some graph paper, some tatting. This is not my granny's tatting. This came from a thrift store or yard sale or something. And this is from my Holly Hobbie sheets, and then also the free printables that I scanned in my Holly Hobbie sheet. I sized them down, like made them 4 to a page, and then cut them out. And these are just some little journaling cards. I did not ink the backs of all of them. Let me just fix that real quick because I just think it looks better. And that was a faux pas on my part. Anyway, and there's hymns all throughout this because, you know, a lot of times they would go to church, you know, and their main songs were like hymns or folk songs. And plus I just like to include hymns in my journals a lot. Blessed be the tie. Blessed be the tie that binds our hearts in Christian love. The fellowship of... I don't remember all the words, but anyway, that's just there to remind you. And then this is just a little pocket. I had backed a piece of this sheet after fussy cutting it onto some cardstock and turned it into a kind of a tuck spot. And then I decoupaged this napkin onto another little piece of card and made a pocket out of that. Put her on there and just a little bit of that. And then we've got Oh Happy Day back there. Oh happy day that fixed my choice on thee, my Savior and my God. Love that. And then near to the heart of God on there. Just there's hymns throughout. I won't sing every one of them even though I want to. And that's just a little fabric tag that I made with some little calico back there. And lots of lace and a little... I don't know if I inked that or if it came that color. I don't remember. I think I inked it a little bit. I'm not sure. And we're just, some of the pages I've just put a little something, and some I haven't put anything. This one's got a little washi there. And this I also single-sided laminated some of these on separate pages, some of these little girls on here, so that I could use this side as a pocket or a tuck, not really pocket, but a tuck, and that it would be strong enough to hold up, but it wouldn't take away from the picture that's here. So we've got one of those little cards in here, and it just tucks right in. We've got this little trim on here and these cute little buttons. These are not vintage at all. They came from Hobby Lobby, but I love them. And then we made this in Tagtastic Tuesday, another one of these little advertisements from the book. I just thought they just turned out great, and this is on just a kind of an old index card, and we've turned that into a pocket. And then inside here I have just slipped a kind of a vintage looking, they're quite old looking flash card. I haven't done anything with it. Some of the things I have left for whoever gets this journal, that they can decorate how they would like to, and I will include some extra fabrics and trims and stuff. There'll be a little pack that comes with this journal. So here's the other side of that. A nice little ruffle there. And this is a another decoupaged napkin, and just with these little girls, and I made a little tuck out of this and just tucked that right in there. They matched, and I thought that looked nice. This is some of my fabric paper that I scanned, fabric that I scanned into my printer to use as a paper. It's on my Freebie Ko-fi site. So you can look for freebies on there if you'd like. Just a little tab on here with that. The other side of the bag, and inside we have slipped one of these little things, postalettes I think they're called, and that you can either use or have, or you know, journal on, and I just thought that the picture went really well with this theme. And then this is just a little, you know, replica of a milk cap made smaller. I just put that on there. Little writing spot on this. And I've got a belly band here made with, this is a belt from the 70s. And I just thought it looked really cute. So there's some 70s things in here. And this is a pocket I made. This is a Velcro little thing. And inside you've got another, this is somebody got into endless caverns in Newmarket, Virginia. And this actually came from one of my friends, and it's from the 60s as well. So I've tried to put some genuine vintage ephemera in here, and I did a little, what you call it, you know, on here. Not stamping, but with the, can't think of my words today at all. One of these. And so then that just closes with a little Velcro there. And it has a little pocket on the back where we have slipped another one of those cards. And that just fits right in there. And this is a little double-sided corner pocket that we made. And another little tag that, I think I did this on Tagtastic Tuesday. I really don't know if I did or not, but I like it. Yeah, another really pretty hem. And another postalette. And this is also from that freebie that I put in there from my sheet set. Another little pocket that we made with some trims, another little hem. These are some genuine vintage labels. This one's torn a little bit. That's how vintage they are. You can see the discolorment on the back. And these I got from my friend Cheryl with the Journal Cottage, I think is what. I'll link all the channels below of everybody that I mentioned. And we've got just a pretty little cluster up there. And more graph paper, some little paper. I can't think of the word I'm trying to say. This is another belly band that I made. I folded a little flower petal thing in half and made it look like a butterfly. I really like how that turned out. And these are some tags. There's 3 of these. I have cut them down to different sizes and different shapes, and I don't know what language this is. It could be German, it could be some other, I'm not sure. And if it was German, there were a lot of Germans, you know, settling in, like, you know, South Dakota. Even Oklahoma has quite a few German settlers, and especially western Oklahoma. So I just thought, that's okay. There would be probably some German-speaking people there, and that's cool. So that goes in that little belly band. And then we have a cute little trim here. Another little cluster there. Another cluster with some of my granny's tatting. This is my granny's. And then we've got a center page for journaling, and I forgot to show you, if you can see these, I put some vintage buttons. These are all vintage buttons dangling at the bottom of this of these strings. This is a 4 signature. I forgot to say that too. A 4 signature, speak Peggy, journal. 4 signature journal. And we are in the 2nd signature. And we just have more papers, and we've got another little pocket here. We've got a Western Union telegram. I do not know how old this is. I got it from a friend, so I have no idea. And this just comes apart like this, and it opens up this way, and then if I haven't glued it together, it opens up this way, and you've got 2 pockets. I did not put anything in these pockets because I actually forgot I had some pockets there, and I'm looking around. You can fill them yourself. You know, it's okay to leave pockets empty sometimes. So I will do that. And then this is some vintage trim. I love this. It's so pretty. And I saw this on this kind of pocket way on a Facebook post, and I don't know who put the post up, but I've just slipped. It's you can either glue them together and just have one, or I left them separate and you have 2 tucks. And it's just some paper with some little hems over the top, and I've put another flash card and a index card for journaling. This is basically just plain for journaling. Another doily pocket. This one I have done like a belly band though, so this would go all the way through. I probably should have put something longer in there so you would know, but anyway, that's what I did. And here's another little tuck spot with the girl, and I love the kind of raised effect that gave on it. This is some vintage trim, I think probably from the 80s. I don't know how old the lace is, but I know it's probably pretty old. And then we've got a fabric flip. I can't hardly do anything without a fabric flip, with which we've got this cute little rickrack bow on there with a gingham button. And we've got some, I got this from Meg at Chasing Retro. I love this fabric. And then that is part of the sheet, the actual sheet from my childhood. Now this one this wasn't mine. I had one just like it. Happened to find this at an estate sale, because who knows what happened to the sheets we had. We probably wore them clean through. And this was on the bottom of this picture, and I just cut it out because it's so cute. It has to do with train your pet with loving care. Anyway, I just like that, and so I put that underneath. So I liked the writing and everything. So we do have some journaling spots in here. I was thinking that I didn't have that much journaling spots, but there is actually quite a few. And you can even write on these little things. I have tucked in some extra of these little little girls from the kit, and It Is Well With My Soul. Who does not love that song? Oh, this song has gotten me through so many things, and I have sung it at gravesides for my aunt, my mother. And there's Rob. He's got, his throat is still quite scratchy, and it's kind of hard for him to swallow, so he'll be clearing his throat. Anyway, when peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. And that's truly how I feel. God has been with us throughout all this. I can't tell you how smoothly this surgery went for Rob. Just wonderful. Anyway, here's another tuck. I did a kind of side tuck with this, and I didn't really have anything that fit in there great, so I just left it open. I've got a couple of little pockets here. This is also some pillowcases that I scanned in and then just used them as pockets. We've got some of the extra little girls in there. We've got a little cluster here. Oh, some more graph paper. The center of that one, also plenty of journaling. There actually is a lot more journaling in here than I thought. So this, if you like to journal, this is a good book. I made this from a little piece of, crochet. There were two together, and then there was a tinier one. I don't know where I got this. I think it was in something from a thrift store. And put another one of those calico hearts on there. And God will take care of you, that hymn. Cute little, this is also another fabric tag. Good grief. And I love these little daisy flowers at the top. So that fits in there. We've made a little ruffle here with some buttons. I just felt like that went very well with him. He's got some little polka dots on his little knee patch there and his cute little dog. Another little cluster there. This is a card, and I don't know where I got this, but this is also a pocket that I don't have anything in. I forgot I had turned that into a pocket. So I don't have anything in there. You can feel free to put something in there yourself, some writing paper, whatever, another piece of stationery. And I didn't turn any of these into pockets because I felt like there was quite a few pockets. So I left it for journaling. And then, What a Friend We Have in Jesus. Love that. I've put this 3 sides so that you could have another pocket. And this is another little advertisement from that book. And then she's on roller skates, which I think is cute. And we've got a cute little thing there holding it. We've got for journaling there. And all right, and we're at the last signature. Got a cute little gingham ribbon that I've ruffled up there and put these cute little daisies. These are some vintage daisies, and I don't know how old they are, but my guess is probably from the 70s. And I left, this page is kind of light, so you could write on it as well, so I left that blank. And here's my screen door. Okay, in order to keep it shut, I made this little dumaflachi here. Accurate word. I don't know what it's called, a little lever or something. And it fits right underneath the key. And then we just have that opens up. It's just a little interactive something. Kind of fun. And I've got one of these pockets here, and I saw, I think it was Gigi from Gigi Hannah that I saw make one of these, and I said, I'm sure going to make one. And I just folded one of these vintage hymns in here. And I'm pretty sure I got from Carrie the Paper Monkey. I could have gotten it from Joanie, from Not So Fast Joanie, because both of them gave me hymn books, so I'm not totally sure which one I got it from. But I went through the hymn book and just started, oh, I've turned them around. Come back. Okay. So we just stuck them in there. And I went through and picked out all the songs that I could sing. There was probably 3/4 of the book. I knew the songs. Another little doily pocket. We've just put this. This also came from that book. It just looked like Old West times. Here's another where that that ink came off on this page. I just think it looked kind of cool, so I just left it. We've got another little ruffle there, and this also is some paper that I dyed with food coloring, cake decorating coloring actually, and a little piece of it came from another page and got on here, but it went so well with this page I thought I'm just leaving it. I think it's kind of cool. And this is a center, and I have put this envelope. This is fabric, and this little Holly Hobbie matches that one. And then we've got another one in here, and then another hymn in there. Another little cluster, and another tuck spot with another little vintage hymn there from the hymn book. This hymn book is from the 1940s, I think, or 1935. Well, I don't know. I had two, one from the 40s and one from the 30s, and I don't remember which this is, but it's old. And then here's the other two of those that came with the kit. that I was telling you about. And I didn't really do anything to them except back them so that they could be written on. You can decorate them if you choose. We've just got some torn corner pockets there with some vintage trim there. And this is the magnetic tag, over the page magnetic tag that I learned how to do from CaraRenee at, I'll list her channel before. For some reason I can't remember anything today. Menopause is fun. Every day's a new day. And I like this because it doesn't cover up any of the picture. You can just undo it. And journal all on the inside, which I think is cool. It just comes apart like that. And I like that snap when it hits. Okay, we've got another one plain for journaling with just a little ruffle here. And here's the little dress with an apron that I made. We got some little calico here. And I think that turned out super cute. I just made it into a belly band and put this little pocket made from a paper sack. And we got the little bonnet girl there, and we've got a few more of the little girls in here. I just put all the ones left that I had fussy cut. And a little butterfly dangle there. Oh, I'm going in the wrong way. It's got to go this way. Okay, and there she is, y'all. She's chunky, but she's not, it's not too bad. She doesn't lay completely flat, but really it's only like from 3 inches to like 4, it was 4.5 or something. So yeah, it's way bigger when it's not shut, but once you close it, it's not that bad. So at least I don't think so. All right, guys, thanks for staying with me. I know this took a long time because it was a 4 signature book and there was a lot of stuff. She will be for sale on my Ko-fi. I do not have any pictures of her yet, so if you are interested, you can just send me a personal message. My email is listed on my YouTube page. There was some little strings, got those. Anyway, you can email me or you can comment on this if you are interested in purchasing her. Anyway, I love her. I think she's so pretty. She's so much fun. Very colorful, very fun. And all the little dangly buttons, just super fun. I will put her back together now, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. Hugs. Bye.